Few soft drinks have a more interesting and tragic backstory than Coca-Cola. The $74 billion soft drinks company certainly has a very tumultuous and dark past.
Brilliant news!
Let's rewind to the mid-1800s where it all begins with John Stith Pemberton, a promising 19-year-old who had a great interest in chemistry. In 1850 he got his medical degree and a few years later married and started a family. Having specialised in chemistry, he soon opened his own drugstore in Columbus, Georgia. With his wife Anne, newborn son Charles and his own pharmacy, the likelihood of this Knoxville-born chemist inventing the world's most consumed soft drink ever were very slim indeed. 10 years later, President Lincoln was elected president of the not-so-United States. There were still many southern territories who had yet to become states, wanting to become a confederation of self-run sovereign states, and were also in disagreement with Lincoln's pledge to end slavery. When Lincoln was elected, 7 slave states in the South seceded and formed a new nation, the Confederate States of America. As the Union Army descended on the South to dissolve the rebels, the Confederate Army held the 1,200-mile line from Virginia to Missouri, fighting for their own liberty and freedom whilst at the same time supporting slavery. John Pemberton enrolled in this army and quickly ascended to lieutenant colonel, perhaps thanks to his contacts as a Freemason. After 4 years of fighting alongside the rebels, at the Battle of Columbus he was stabbed in the chest with a saber. Perhaps this was the catalyst to the invention of the popular drink we all know today. Due to his injury, John Pemberton retired from the battle, bedridden and on morphine. Unfortunately, he became addicted to the strong painkiller and once again in his pharmacy began experimenting with other drugs, attempting to find a cure for his morphine addiction. This led him onto coca wine, a French beverage combining wine and cocaine. He mixed the wine-soaked coca leaves with cola nuts and damiana flowers, creating Pemberton's French coca wine. The drink became very popular among adults. But in 1885, due to the new temperance legislation in Atlanta, Pemberton was forced to make the beverage non-alcoholic and replace the wine with a sugar syrup, aiming to target the soda fountain market. Pemberton's marketer, Frank Mason Robinson, suggested he called the coca leaf and cola nut infused beverage Coca-Cola, and the world's most popular soft drink was finally born. The drug-infused drink certainly packed a punch, and they made sure to market this with phrases like the best brain and nerve drink and a most wonderful invigorator of genital organs. But it was still not the soft drink we know today. Soon the rampant abuse of cocaine was all over the papers, as the term cocaine fiend sprung up everywhere. Pemberton, wanting to detach his brand from this association, once again altered his brain tonic, this time finding a way to remove the alkaloid ecgonine from the coca leaves, thus making them drug-free. To reach the final recipe for the Coca-Cola we all know today, he replaced the cocaine drug for caffeine, a much less potent and widely accepted stimulant. The pharmacist's beverage skyrocketed. The product seemed to have a bright future. However, Pemberton did not. He had never managed to cure his morphine addiction, and alongside the soft drink endeavour, it had all but left him bankrupt. He desperately started selling his rights to his formula, but kept one share for his son Charles. In 1888, John and Charles, in need of money, sold their final share for $1,700. John Stith Pemberton died of stomach cancer a few months later at the age of 57. He was promptly followed by his son Charles 6 years later, who died due to an opium addiction. Today, the secret formula of Coca-Cola's recipe is said to be one of the world's best-kept secrets. Although the vague vegetable extracts listed amongst the sparkling soft drink's few ingredients are likely to still be the same coca leaf and cola nut extracts. But in this day and age, how does an American brand get their hands on 175,000 kilos of coca leaves? Stepan Company in New Jersey is Coca-Cola's chemical processing plant and the only company authorized by the US to import this narcotic plant. Here, over $200 million worth of cocaine is extracted every year and sold to medical companies for use in painkillers. The neutralized leaves are then ground up into the sugar syrup base, ready to be sent to the bottling plant, where the remaining 90% of water is added. Yes. Perhaps just as surprising as knowing that there is coca leaf in every can is knowing that 90% of that can of Coca-Cola is filtered tap water. Which part of Coca-Cola's dark past surprised you the most? Comment below!